Good evening, everyone. It's great to have everyone tuned in for tonight's racing here on iRacing. Round number 8 for the Skypoynt NASCAR Trucks E-Series sees the return of a legendary track, Daytona Super Speedway action. It's the second time we're going to be here out of 3 for this season. It's going to be a great night of racing. Peter Gretton, Jai Schultz in commentary tonight. Super Speedway action once again, mate. Royal Triple Crown comes into play. What do you think is going to happen here at Daytona? Because everyone knows Daytona, such a special place, such a special time when we race, whether we see it in real life or here on iRacing. Super Speedway action, some 49 drivers, I'll just put that out there, Jai, here to take part in tonight's race. It's going to be a great night of racing. The guys are in qualifying right now, Jai, but Daytona International Super Speedway. What's your thoughts, mate? It's a brilliant track and it's a brilliant event.
Oh, it's definitely going to be an awesome night tonight, having those 49 trucks on none other than Daytona Super Speedway. So, got a lot of plate racing and a lot of pack racing, and yeah, a lot quick and fast paced as well. So it's going to be an awesome night having this amount of trucks here tonight.
And well, 49 trucks. That's there's always a big one. And tonight's not going to be any different. When we're going to see the big one is pretty much what the question is. But like we mentioned in the opener, is that we see the return of Daytona for the second leg of the Royal Triple Crown. Michael Skurlock leads the series on 738, but Tom Pritchard on 132 leads the Daytona leg. Remember, round 1 we were here at Daytona International Speedway. Skypoynt 1 and 2, can they do that again, Jai? Because it's a tough ask.
Yeah, it's definitely a tough thing to do, especially having more than just one of your team cars up there at the finish. But that's what it's all about. And Super Speedway racing and pack racing is having those teammates and allies around you to really push yourself forward as a team instead of just an individual, like we see at a few of the mile and a half so far this season.
Well, it's a good change, wasn't it? When we jumped into the mile and a halves, we had Pocono, the Tricky Triangle, we had a couple of others like that. We had Charlotte last week. How good was that? As we're going to have to get back to that in a little bit because we were a little bit late going into tonight's festivities. Daytona International Super Speedway here for Skypoynt NASCAR Trucks E-Series. Tom Pritchard, surprise, surprise, puts it on pole. Super Speedway King, I think you called him when we were off air. So, well, Tom Pritchard, what a time that was. But we're gridding up. We're getting ready for a race start here at Daytona International Speedway. No surprises, Tom, off the front?
He's definitely a very strong qualifier at the Super Speedways, and me and Tom did a league race with a few Americans early today, and he was kind of a bit nervous because he feels like there's a lot of pressure on him to get that pole at the Super Speedways week in, week out. So definitely not succumbing to the pressure here tonight.
Boy, he put it on pole. He may be a little bit nervous. A lot of people would. It's a big field of 49 drivers. We got all the people there that have been coming in and week out, Jai. So we've got all the big names. So we got Skypoynt, as I mentioned, coming off a win from round 1. Tom Pritchard and Andy Barber and their whole team as well, split over to Skypoynt and NASCAR. Skypoynt and Southern Stars. There we go. Sorry, split over the two teams. We got Wade Sheedy. We got Greg Spence. We got Ruben Phelps has joined in today as well. 06. We do know he can steer one of these machines. Chris Tomlin and his teammate, and also number 27 Luke Kenny. How's his qualifying form up into 23rd?
Yeah, he's definitely looking strong in his start of his iRacing career, and definitely beginning to be a force to be reckoned with, and definitely showing his name up the front week in, week out.
It's going to be good to watch here tonight. Grab a mate, see that yellow line and hold it. That's going to be your way. Pit in for every caution period. Top up on fuel. Be the guy with less fuel and greenest tyres at the end. That's what the name of the game here is for the super speedways. Let's jump through the Skypoynt running grid and let's see how they qualified out here tonight. Skypoynt NASCAR Trucks E-Series, round number 8. Here's how they line up. Tom Pritchard will start out alongside Peter Jones. Wade Sheedy, Greg Spencer will have row 2. Maxie Marshall, Nigel Patton will have row 3. Holdsworth and Jaeger side by side for row 4. Ruben Phelps, Chris Tomlin, Gosley and Roffey will be 11th and 12th position. As I've got to get a move on, this formation lap is been a little bit quicker than me tonight. As not too sure why it doesn't want to go over the page. Come on, there we go. Vassell and Jordan, Klein, Blackburn. Now wants to go by itself. So a little bit slow from the time as we run through this grid. All by itself. Thanks, iRacing. We'll get through that. We're just about here for a race start. Jai is... One way to do it is just kill the overlays and we'll do it that way. But it's going to be a great night. Although the overlays doesn't want to play the game just yet. But how good's it? 49 trucks. NASCAR trucks around Daytona. And, well, Skypoynt, do they have the goods? Can they do it again?
They'll definitely be hoping to here at Daytona again tonight. And remember, the Geico restart zone is in play for this league as well. So they're going to have to wait and hold until the iRacing green flag before they can put the hammer down. Let's
have a look. The pace truck peels off. Tom Pritchard has it. The Geico restart zone is there. We're green around number 8. The Skypoynt NASCAR Truck Series underway here at Daytona. Good start. We're going to see lots of 2 wide action. Nice clean start. A couple of drivers starting out of pit lane.
Yeah, definitely giving each other room. And got Tom Pritchard and Wade Sheedy trying to push him on the bottom line as we got a couple of team cars on that high line. Really trying to work together.
See what we can do. The guys that are starting out of pits, they're hanging under the yellow line. The guys that are started on the green are doing a great job. Tom Pritchard holding that inside line. Gives a shout at what the audio's like as well. Sounds loud in my ears, but we're going to run with it 3 wide, a little bit further back. I'm sure they want to drop down. Who's that middle car? I can see there's a middle car. I think that may be Luke Kenny up the inside. 3 wide, down. Oh, that's Greg Spencer, I do believe, is it? No, it is Luke Kenny.
Yeah, Luke Kenny really making that middle line work and dropping down in front of Tom there to kind of take the lead of that bottom row there. So awesome run up the centre by Kenny.
Well, I've seen him 3 wide. He takes the lead of the race. Remember, there is a bonus point for leading this race. So Luke Kenny, very new to iRacing, number 27, up 22 positions already, Jai, in the opening stages of this race. How good is he? And see what he can do here at Daytona.
Yeah, definitely putting the hammer down early and dropping right in front of Tom there is probably not a bad idea, as Tom's one of the better pushers in these trucks, and it's really keeps the front truck steady while doing so. So it's definitely a good alloy to have in this early stage of the race.
Oh, and the push is on now. So Tom Pritchard gets behind, and he's starting to push the 27. And we all know Tom Pritchard, it's a gut feeling. On super speedways. Well, if your gut says get out of it, get out of it. Tom Pritchard, he just moves his way down. Oh no, little bit of contact. Oh no, we're going to go caution. We're going to go caution. Big wreck. I've seen that happening before it played out. Oh no. This is not how we want to start. This is 35, 40 cars out of close to 50, Jai. Whoa, a little bit of contact. 27 got into him, I think, at the start. 3 wide. That's not how we want to see this round. Most of the field is involved in that. That's the big one.
Yeah, one of the bigger questions here at the super speedways every time we come in is when is the big one going to happen? And on lap 480, you didn't think it would be this early on, but I know the top 3 of Patton, Pritchard and Jordan all got through unscathed. The rest of the field, I'm not too sure, but definitely those top 3 guys made their way through.
We've got a bit of chat going on as well. We'll keep that going if hopefully it doesn't, sound too bad. I can't really hear it, but I think the viewers can, but we'll keep it going. Yellow flag is out with what there's only really two words that can sort of explain that, and
Who needs to hear it in 1 and 2?
the biggest one.
Catch the pace car.
Let's have a look from high in the air. I think Jason Holdsworth is the only person I can pick up there, Jai.
Yeah, as we see, Luke Kenny coming up the inside in between all the Pinnacle boys here, and the first Pinnacle car gets away unscathed, and I think that might be Pritchard and Jordan right down on the bottom that get through. Definitely Pritchard, but yeah, definitely taking it 3 wide and trying to take it to the top guys. As the draft package here at Daytona and the trucks is really, really strong. So sometimes you can come up on the trucks a lot quicker than you actually think you're going as well. But definitely fighting for the lead and fighting for it hard, and just didn't quite work out this time.
Yeah, well, what a start that was. As we go back live off the Skypoint replay, we don't like to call races that start like that, but lap 5 of 80, all I can say, Jai, is, well, the big one's out of the way, isn't it?
There's always a chance for more than one big one here at Super Speedway Speed, but definitely the biggest one is out of the way, as we see only a few cars at the moment. I think that's about 5 cars sitting behind the pace truck. So the rest are in pit lane and trying to fix any damage they may have, and hopefully they can get out and stay on the lead lap, as that's the first goal for these drivers here tonight now.
It is the goal. We got Nigel Patton, Tom Pritchard, Kobe Jordan, Tony Roffey. Only a few drivers, only a handful of drivers that got away with that. We got their number 1 championship contender and defender, Aidan Schulz, up 11 positions. He currently sits in 6th position. He's got Adam Malone, Darren McKenzie for company. A couple of Southern Stars, or a few. It's 3, so that makes a few Southern Stars there just racing together. And if you have a look, Aidan Schulz number 1, Darren McKenzie 0-2, and Adam Malone number 3. Ooh, is that how they're going to finish tonight? But so far so good. They've already made a pit stop as well, up 18 positions for Adam Malone. We're going to see a lot of big movers tonight just based on what we've seen already. But we've got a fair few guys coming out of the pit lane as predicted, and a fair few people that are in comments as well. Keep your comments coming through. Wow, that was a crazy start, says Sarah. And got a couple other comments in here as well. Oh my God, 5 cars on track to rest in pits. Well, I don't think all but 5 was involved in that. It's just the nature of Super Speedway as well. When there's a caution called, you's all jumped in, whether 1's involved, 2's involved, 3's involved, but that sure was the big one. And well, let's hope we can get some green racing under our belt rather, and long periods of it. We see in this league as well, when we get long green periods, we get really, really long green. So let's hopefully see that again tonight, and let's hope after this first caution, lap 6 of 80. Pace truck lights are out too. We're just about to get some green flag action.
Yeah, so hopefully they've got a few of the jitters out of their system now with that first big wreck, and kind of calm it down again, and really think about it as well, because don't get a fast repair in this league. So if it goes wrong, most of the time it does go really, really wrong. So but yeah, for the first restart of the night, now it goes to the leader of Nigel Patton to initiate the start, as long as it's in that blue marked Geico restart zone.
Let's have a look at the restart zone as we're just about to ready to go green, as it won't let me go to it. I have no idea why, but we're green again. Nigel Patton leads us to green, and a good start indeed. Tom Pritchard, Kobe Jordan, they all come with us. So let's have a look at this green restart from a few different angles there, Jai. Kobe Jordan's gone with him, and Tom Pritchard just gets out of the way there. So let's have a look. Everyone knows what can happen. Let's turn it up, and let's just have a look at these guys off the restart. as we get through that restart quite nicely. The guys lead. Nigel Patton, Kobe Jordan, Tom Pritchard. There your three. Single line of stern up the front. That's what we want to see here at Daytona, isn't it, Jai? No fast repairs. You crash, you're out. Single line of stern. Grab a mate. Grab that yellow line and hold on to it. Here we go. There it is. Patton, Jordan, Pritchard, Schultz is there. McKenzie, Conlon Finland, Andy Barber, Skurlock, remember, he's leading the series. Up 38 positions for Michael Skurlock. Single line of stern, the top 10 or 11. A little bit of a battle heating up with Malone, Trahere, and I think Holdsworth, Nitro Racing involved in that. But a little bit further back, and the battles heat up. But up the front, top 20 looking good, Jai.
Yeah, definitely looking good, and on my timing screen I'm seeing a lot of big gains, so that would be some drivers that elected to start from pit lane, as it's less of a risk here at Daytona from going a lap down from starting in pit lane as well, or just really hanging back off the start and then allowing himself to really have a bit more time to check up before that first wreck. So it's gone to show playing it safe early on has really worked out for these guys. So they've seen a lot of Southern Stars and Skypoynt cars as well in that front pack, and a couple of the normal guys that run around together with Jair, Sherlock. They're kind of picked up. Going single file, it's a lot quicker if they're not battling, so they're trying to increase this bit of a breakaway pack and really make the most of this jump early as they come up on a lap car, just getting out of the way, going under the line for these leaders.
Yeah, I just dropped off the leaders just for a second. I just dropped back to Wellman, Finlay, Davison and Rigby. Good little battle. I thought we were around about 4 wide. That's why I jumped on top of it. But that 104 truck of Finlay up 21 positions. He's holding the high line. Behind him is Dave Douglas. Sorry, it wasn't Dave Douglas. See, this is the problem we have now when we got out of sequence cars. I don't know who I'm looking at. We'll try and get a number of that blue and black. It's not Dave Douglas. Do apologise as Sean Rigby enters the pit lane, but good little battle further back, and that's the battle, can you believe it, outside the top 20. About 6 cars there, and the rest of the guys I think are leading single line astern. So what these guys need to do now is just to drop down. I think these top guys drop down, work together. 6 is better than 4. Work together, grab these guys, and work their way back up to this big train of cars. Patton, Jordan and Pritchard still lead. Aiden Shields is in there as well, but haven't the guys learned from that big one, Jai? Because, well, single line of stern, they know what works and they're doing it.
Yeah, that's definitely right. And just going back to that 20th battle, it was, my timing screen just has a little bit of a mix-up, but it was Wellman, Finlay, Davison. They're 3 sim boys, so even if they're buried in the pack, it just goes to show how important it is to be around your team. But yeah, definitely this lead battle with Nigel Patton leading the way and Kobe tucked in behind him, pushed him along. They're making way and definitely creating a bit of a gap here as they try to extend their lead.
And they are trying to extend their lead by bugger all, I tell you. There's 0.3 of a second lead Nigel Patton has over Kobe Jordan. And, well, what would you be doing at this point in the race when you've seen what can happen, when you don't want to, when things to go to you know what, when that happens, what do you do to counteract that? Is this what we're looking at would be pretty much textbook, or was there something else that Jai Schultz would try? Because, come on, Jai Schultz, number 27, although you don't have it in this league, obviously, because you're up sitting next to me, but in other leagues, you're pretty handy around a super speedway, Jai.
Yeah, I'd be more than happy to sit in Tommy Pritchard's position, if I'm honest. Just being that third car in line, you don't have to push the truck in front, but you can also save a lot of fuel by just sitting in that draft and going around. But being up the front and kind of away from that mid to later on pack battles, a bit more safer and a bit more comfortable personally for me to be in a position to sit in kind of thing. So, but definitely single file and kind of relax after such a big one, and especially taking out so many cars and like having a lot of drivers go into that kind of damage control mindset and just trying to collect points. It's a lot more. You got a lot more opportunity to get a few more points in the series and in the championship over your competitors as well.
As we have a look now, I'm not too sure whether we got a couple of lap traffic coming into play. There was a car, I think, into the wall just there, but I'm not too sure if this is lap traffic coming into play or people just dropping down, getting out of the way. I think that was a Pinnacle guy just getting up, letting them guys and coming down. I'm not too sure if they're on the lead lap or not, Joe. You might be able to help me out with that, but quite a few drivers that are still in pit lane, so it may be quite a few DNFs. 3 or 4, I think, or maybe even a little bit more, 5 or 6. So busy pit lane. I'm not too sure if they're DNFs or in there getting their damage service, but unlucky for them guys being in the pit lane when all these guys are circling lap 15 of 80 here at Daytona. Plenty of racing to go. Remember, the race starts at Super Speedway once we hit about 20 to go. Buy your ticket, grab your mate, empty that fuel, get the tyres on the ground, and well, from lap 70 to 80, that's where the show begins, and we click over each and every lap right now. Daytona is part of the Royal Triple Crown. Remember, $1,000 up for grabs, thanks from our good mates at Skypoynt. And talk of Skypoynt is up the front and doing a good job. But this battle we're looking at right now is Troy Davison, Kosh, Wellman, and all them guys around about the just outside the 15 mark.
Yeah, we've got about 25 cars still on the lead lap, just touching on those lap cars and what a few of those slower moving cars are doing. So we've got about 50% of the field left on the lead lap now. So a lot of time to make up. A lot of trucks have, I think, parked it for the night. So yeah, definitely a lot of damage control for a lot of these drivers and a good opportunity to pick up some points. But yeah, 25 on the lead lap.
25 drivers on a lead lap. That's quite shocking, isn't it, really, when we started off with 49 drivers. Goes through a couple of them big movers as we jump back up the front and have a look at what the leaders are doing. Still single line astern. Nigel Patton leads Jordan and Pritchard. Kobe Jordan's up 12. Darren McKenzie is currently in 6th position. He's up 26, up 34 for Finland, up 38 for Michael Skurlock, and that livery, you definitely can't miss it. Michael Skurlock, not that you can really, because he's usually doing good things on track, and tonight's no different sort of thing. He's currently sitting in 8th, up 38 position, so biggest mover of the night too, hard charger, I think, Michael Skurlock, as it stands right now.
Yeah, definitely showing a lot of speed and a lot of pace, but he is the series leader, the overall series leader here at the Skypoynt trucks at the moment as well. So he's a smart racer and knows where to position his truck and how to kind of keep it out of trouble as well. So definitely happy to sit there back in 8th place at the moment in this lead group of 17 trucks. So yeah, big lead group, but still single file and still playing a bit safe at this stage.
You can see them front guys just walking away from this next group that we have forming. There's a big group. What have we got down to? I'll try and find them cars. There's Skurlock. There's a couple of the other guys there trying to find a number of the end of this group. It may be somewhere around. Oh, I was close. I went to Kai Turn. It's a little bit further back. I think it's Tristan Kosh. 550. And I'm pretty sure that's the end of the lead pack. And before we go back to Reuben Phelps and this crew now, they're going 2 line astern, and the high line looks to be working in this group that's a little bit further back.
Yeah, so I got a group of 6 trucks here fighting for position, with a few of the lap cars as well helping them out. So I got two rows of, I got 4 on the outside, 5 on the inside. So these 2 trucks, they're really hooking up real close and really using the draft to their advantage. So they're going to be trying to pull in that 27-second gap back to Tristan in 7/8, which is the tail end of that lead pack. So definitely trying to minimise that time and really get back to the front.
jump on board with Steve Hoppert is in amongst this battle at the moment, currently sitting in 20th position, and he's hugging that yellow line. That's exactly what you want to do. And have a look at that flag, the Aussie flag. How good is it on the front of Hoppert's car as they pass the 04 just exiting pits?
Yeah, definitely a nice little touch, and it just goes to show how much creativity and really passion when it comes down to it. These drivers put into their paint jobs, and lads of representatives, they get a little bit loose, and it's a bit of a pinball. That was staying green at the moment. See if we can save it.
Not too sure what happened there, Jai. Sorry for getting a little bit excited over you, or not, despite it, sort of a little bit of despair. We were just riding on board with him, and I think there's a lap traffic in. I could get this wrong. I do apologise if I did, but Middle Split Racing possibly was hugging that yellow line. A little bit of contact. I'm not too sure what went on there. We'll leave that a go. We'll try and have another look, and we'll see if we get a replay on it. But as it stands, Patton still leads away. Kobe Jordan doing a good job in second. Aiden Schulz behind him. And let's jump on board and let's crank it up and let's get an onboard shot. I'm sure Sarah would like it, of Kobe Jordan, currently sitting in second position. Round number 8 of the Skypoynt NASCAR Truck E-Series. Let's crank it up. Kobe Jordan, 080 machine. They stay single line astern. What a lap that was with Kobe Jordan. Currently sitting in second position. He's falling through the field. I think that may be a little bit of maybe blinking or something there, Jai. But as I see, Kobe Jordan's he is falling through the field. I'm not too sure what happened. He may have taken a pit stop.
Yeah, I believe Kobe and Nigel have both hit pit road. They had not stopped under that first caution either, so this is their first stop of the night.
I wonder if that's going to be detrimental or not, or whatnot. You want to sort of, I don't know, you want to pit sort of with the rest of them. Aiden Schulz will take the lead of this race with Tom Pritchard, but staying out on that pit stop, do you think that's, I know it's a long race, 25 into 80 at the minute, but do you think staying out at that critical time when everyone went in, now that they're going to be up against it, but they are going to have the greenest tyres at the end, aren't they?
Yeah, that's if they take tyres. Normally you don't take tyres at the Super Speedway. It's really generous on the tyre wears. We see Tristan Koch in pit lane as well, so you might be burning a little bit more fuel than they first thought. But at the moment, we have 14 trucks in that lead group now, and 21 on the lead lap.
Here we go. Green pit stops. Kobe Jordan went in a lap earlier, so he knew that the pit stops were coming. So we're at lap 26 of 80, and people are pitting already. So I think, how many laps to a tank of fuel? I think a couple of guys were trying to give us a little bit of a bum steer, but when we were talking before we went on air, Jai, what did we work out? 30 laps, roughly, or obviously less than that?
Yeah, a few of the drivers might have been pulling me leg before tonight's broadcast, and kind of stitched me up a bit here, but they were saying about 33, 34, not in a draft, but by the looks of this, it's about 22 if you're in the draft. So yeah, a lot less than once first thought, as we see the next group diving to pit lane with Skurlock and Trahair. So yeah, it's looking like about 22 to 23 laps on fuel to this time.
Bit of a change up the front as the guys service down pit road. Jason Holdsworth from Nitro Racing. He's currently holding the lead at the minute. Brett Campbell's in there as well. And what we're going to battle with, I think, tonight, Jai, is just trying to find out who's racing who, because it's pretty hard at the minute by looking at the screens who's racing who, as Jason Holdsworth gets the inside line, and rightly so. Lots of good sportsmanship. Guys going up high, letting the leaders through. Holdsworth, Jones, Campbell, Skurlock, Trahair. That's your top five, but not too sure if the top five really matters. And we got some friendly banter in comments as well. So as we have a look at these guys going through and doing a great job as well as they start to serve some green pit stop races. We've got a race happening on Sunday, Jai. The Lady Palooza. Andy Barber come up with a sterler, didn't he? A perler, I should say, of an idea. But all us blokes, we the guys with girlfriends, misses, sisters, all that kind of stuff. We sit on our rigs, and they sort of take second fiddle. But on Sunday, Lady Palooza, all those ladies get the shot there, and we've got Emma and Sarah in the comments as well. And I think Emma's last comment was they sure are. We'll have to show them how real racers race on Sunday. So let's have a look at that. And they're going to be at this exact place in that same in the same car as well, or truck, I should say. Can we get some 47 second lap times? What do you reckon, Jai? It's going to be a good race on Sunday when the chicks take to the track.
Yeah, definitely can't wait for that to happen, and said the ladies take to the track. And yeah, just said, Peter, it's just a thank you to like all the girls behind the scenes that kind of put up with our antics and our time spent on the weekend. Really, it's more of an appreciation and letting them loose on the track as well. So definitely going to be a fun race, and can't wait.
We've got a car around there, as I can see in the background, just in pit road. Not too sure who that was. I might be able to get a zoomed in shot if I'm quick enough, Jai. But this car that's travelling down, who's this? That was Jason Holdsworth. I just noticed, just spin him in pit road. I'll go back, have a look at a replay on that, Jai. But something you don't want to do is this, as we go have a look at a Skypoynt replay. Sorry, Jace. Probably one of the only mistakes he'll make tonight, as we'll stay on board with this replay. The rewind's a little bit too soon. That's what happens. He takes pit road. See if he gets it stopped. Oh, probably fighting a stop and hold there. Hopefully he got away with that. But definitely not something you want to see. And especially Jason Holdsworth, probably the reason why I highlighted it is because he doesn't make a mistake usually.
Yeah, normally he's pretty onto it, but it was his pit time was 13.12 seconds, so he's managed to just get away with just the time lost with the spin and not copping an extra penalty. But maybe just a bit of a wheel hop or compression lock of the rear tyres there coming into pit lane, and just had a little bit of a half spin. But he was leading before he made that pit stop due to the green flag pit stops and everything, and he still managed to come out in P10 currently, so still a good recovery and a little bit of time lost, but still a good result at this stage.
I'll tell you, have a look at the team antics up the front. Tom Pritchard, Darren McKenzie, Aidan Shores, Kobe Jordan, all run for the same team. So Skypoynt leading, Tom Pritchard on pole. Oh, we'll put it on pole in qualifying. Number 6 out in front, Darren McKenzie, Aidan Shores, Kobe Jordan, all in the same team. They start to circulate around now. This is what you want to be doing. You want to be situating yourself around drivers that you're comfortable driving around, that you spend all day, all weekend, and every race meet driving around and practicing around together. These guys know exactly how they drive around. They know how they're going to do a lap, and they can sort of pick if they're not doing something quite right. So the top 4 doing exactly what they should be at the minute. Michael Skurlock, Justin Witcher, they're gone with them. So have a look at this group of 6 cars, 9 cars, 10 cars, or trucks I should say. This 10, top 10. It's going to be a good race to the finish. But what have we still got? 57 laps to go. 47 laps to go.
Yeah, still a long way to go, but yeah, 8 cars are fighting for position in this lead pack after the green flag pit stops, which was 17 before the green flag pit stop. So yeah, top 8 kind of making a breakaway, and then we've got Brett Campbell, 9th place, solid top 10 running at the moment, about 16 seconds off the lead. So he's leading the chase pack and running strongly inside the top 10.
He is having a strong position, just inside the top 10, up 29 positions. 015 machine to Brett Campbell. He'll be chewing a lot more fuel. He'll be getting a lot less laps on in his fuel stint. So hopefully he finds something very soon in the way of a teammate or partner in crime, I should say, and keeps pushing up with these guys. As it stands, these guys are doing a good job up the front. As we got to go a little bit further back, Andy Barber, one of the Southern Stars guys, a little bit further back, finds himself out, away from his teammates, but he's got people there nonetheless, and he's in a good battle. So there's about 7 cars here, or trucks I should say. Jason Holdsworth, who we just seen make a little bit of an error on his pit stop. That'll be costly. He's got Adam Malone behind him, a little bit further back, Wellman, Douglas and Phelps working together nicely.
Yeah, no, definitely linked up quite nicely there, and only about 3 seconds behind Brett at the moment as well. So hopefully Brett can kind of tag onto the back of him and add to that train. And yeah, definitely single file is the way to go to try and catch this lead pack, as the gap just extends out to about 20 seconds.
Looking about 30 laps for fuel as well, so wasn't some 40 that we first thought. These guys are really starting to intrigue me now. There's not much happening this time of the race, is it, really, Jive? Like, you've got to tick it over, you've got to just do your thing. And I mistakenly said before they've probably gone in and got green tyres. Well, scrap the tyres. You'd probably be finished if you do 80 laps here with probably about not 90% left on your tyres as well. So it's a fuel game. Every time there's a caution in the Jai, you pit regardless, and sometimes you can double dip. What sort of impact will that make if you double dip on a fuel strategy when there's a caution, Jai? Because we do see it sometimes.
Yeah, it's pretty much just every caution you hit the lane for a bit of a top up. Every single caution until it's enough fuel to make it all the way home without hitting pit road again. So that double dip is most viable and most effective when it's that touch and go. You're going to be 1 lap short or just make it. That's when you kind of double dip, get that litre and a half top up, and make sure you're good to go to the end, or at least covered for that green white checker if that does come up.
Green white checker, we've got one of them if it plays out here tonight, and I think that will come out if we get a caution around about with 2 laps to go, as these guys now are right in the groove. And I think I heard some conversation, I won't say from who, Jai, but some conversation earlier on in the day when we were having a little bit of a practice that it may be, or a couple of people may have been tempted to turn their tape right up if we do get a green-white checker. Do you think they'll overheat, or do you think that'll be beneficial or worthwhile trial?
Yeah, definitely a few drivers were having a bit of a play with how much tape they could get away with, or especially later on in the race, if they did elect to put as much tape on as possible, how long would the truck last following another truck as well before she kind of went bang. So definitely playing around with it, and definitely an option later on in the race. But having a nighttime race here at Daytona and a few a very nice admin team with the temperatures as well, it definitely does help these guys run a lot more tape than if the race was held in daytime conditions as well. So we'll have to see later on if anyone rolls the dice and elects to go full tape and full noise to the end, and see if they can get it to the end before they end up blowing up.
What do we got? We got track temp of 19 degrees, so they definitely are very kind. It is nighttime here at Daytona International Speedway, and these guys doing a good job at the front. Top, what did we say? Let's count them. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 cars out in front. Andy Barber leads the next group of cars, and this group of cars we haven't really spoke about. It looks just as aggressive, if not more aggressive, than the first. This second group is full with a couple of cars out of sequence. Oh no! There's an incident that's going to be caution. I do believe. We may have got away with that there, Jai. I'm not too sure what happened. That was Peter Jones as we go to a Skypoynt replay. I was just saying they're a little bit more aggressive than the rest of them. Let's have a look. A little bit of contact. I believe we say green. 2 cars into the wall as the transition comes up a little too late. But we stayed, pretty sure we stayed green there too, Jai. I'm not too sure what... pretty sure we should have been yellow under that one.
Yeah, we lucky to stay green here after that little incident there. But we saw the same thing earlier in the season at Talladega with if the car had completely spun out before crossing that yellow line and gone onto the apron before spinning out, the apron and further is actually considered not on the racing surface by iRacing, so it doesn't actually register that the car's in danger and therefore bring out an automatic caution. So I believe that's what's happened, and the incident has been off the racing surface, so it's allowed these guys to keep racing under green conditions.
We say green, we got away with another caution. We've had one caution too, correct me if I'm wrong, Jai. So that's that was in the 4th lap. We're over halfway now, would you believe it? Lap 42 of 80, 38 laps to go. We're focusing on this second battle led by Andy Barber, and well, if they can keep it up, they're probably going to be running at the same sort of lap times as the front runners. So, you know, they may be off the lead bunch a little bit, but these guys working as a crew here can work into their hands. So let's see what works out with this second crew. And I believe we got probably a third crew working together a little bit further back. I'll try and work into getting who that is, Jai. But these guys here are just as handy as the front guys. And if they all have another big one at the front, these guys could be the victors.
Yeah, it's definitely right, and they're 30 seconds off the front of the lead back here in the second group. But at the same time, it's a battle for ninth as well, so it's still a very opportunistic night to pick up some solid points and really move yourself up in the championship as well. So we're down to 19 cars on the lead lap, and it's three kind of groups that are all single file running around the track. So we've got Pritchard, McKenzie, Schultz, Jordan, Witcher, Skurlock, Trahere and Turner in that first pack, 1 through 8. And then from 9th, we've got Patton, Koch, Holdsworth, Barber, Campbell and Malone in that second pack. And then Wellman, Douglas, Phelps and Tompkins in that third pack. So 3 distinctive packs running around the track, but all working single file and all trying to catch that group in front of them before we get into the next green flag pit cycle, which I believe is only about 5 to 6 laps away.
Well, here's one for you, Jai. Based on what we've already seen, lap 44 of 80 of round 8 of the Skypoynt NASCAR Truck Series here at Daytona, as we battle around some out-of-sequence cars, if you could put some money on who's going to win this tonight. I'm not a betting man, but what's the go? Could you at this stage of the race?
The way the series is going, it's anyone's race week in, week out. It's almost impossible to put money on or even make an assumption on who's going to win, as it seems to go down to the last lap and really it's anyone's game. So as long as these drivers can get to the last lap and be in a position to be out the front, you've got a good chances of actually taking out the win and taking the jockeys home at the end of the night.
80 laps, around about 25 laps of fuel. Probably looking at a 3, possibly a 4-stopper race. What's your experience when it comes to Daytona in the trucks, Jai? I know you've run a few races here, and I do believe coming off 2 wins. You come off a win in the trucks. I'm not too sure. Oh, that was at Dega. We'll go there next week for this series. But what's your trick when running these sorts of races? Because if you have a look, these guys are running at close to 300 kilometres an hour. An eye blink off each other's rear bumper. What's the trick? Does that all go out of your mind? You don't think of it. You just eyes forward, or what's the trick when trying to follow these cars and the yellow line and push through an 80k or 80 lap race, I should say?
It's just really being consistent, and if you're up the front, and especially in Richard's position at the moment leading, just really hugging that white line, the yellow line, sorry, and really being smooth and kind of putting your truck in a position where the guy behind you knows that's where you're going to put your truck, and so they can follow quite nicely behind. But as we see the 3 teammates, first, second and third, they'll be all in the Discord, so they've even got that added of voice communication as well. But yeah, definitely having those allies and having those friends around you is going to really put you in a better position for this race. So coming up to the next Grand Flag should see Pritchard, McKenzie and Schultz all pit together. But at the same time, don't be surprised with they try and get that 4-car breakaway, leaving pit road and getting lined up quicker, and turn that 8-car lead battle into a 4-car lead battle and try and run away with this one.
Let's see what will happen. That'll happen in the next couple of laps as we turn our attentions back a little bit further, back to this second pack of drivers. Big angry pack of drivers too. There's some 2, 4, 6. There's probably about a good third of the pack, if not a little bit more, into this this middle pack, led by, I think that possibly could be, is that Kai Turner? No.
Dave Douglas leading the second pack, which the third pack that we mentioned a couple of laps ago is actually caught this second pack. So now there's 2 packs and the second one is double, so it's really heating up here.
We jump on the rear of Dave Douglas and we see a car in the background just peel off. And this is how close they are. So Ruben Phelps and the 06 is behind Dave Douglas. Plenty of racing they've done together, that's for sure. And we come into the next pit window. The 2 packs or 3 packs of drivers that we seen earlier now is down to 2, as Jai just alluded to. Second and third pack that we seen earlier has now moved into 1. And does that make a difference, Jai? Will 2 packs merging and merge as one group, and they all get down to yellow and they all work as a 120 car pack rather than two 10 packs. Will that benefit them, considering the leaders are already working as a team?
Definitely the more trucks in the line, especially when they're single file like this, the faster they're going to go. We've just seen Nigel Patton hit pit lane from leading early on. As we see this lead pack all hit pit lane too. So I was a bit concerned then for Kobe Jordan as he pitted on the same lap as Nigel, and would definitely had to come on this lap with Tom Pritchard leading. He might have been burning up enough fuel to kind of match them out. But yeah, definitely a lot of drivers hitting pit road, and we'll see if this second group coming up stays out for one more lap, or if they have to hit pit road again under green this time by.
I think we had about a lap or two difference, didn't we, between the two groups? Let's have a look. Let's ride on board with this. It looks like they're staying out, this second group. I think we had a couple drivers peel off. Darren McKenzie, he's back out on track. Witcher, he'll leave. Traher, Skurlock, and them boys will start to come out, and the positions will sort of start to regroup. Dave Douglas takes the lead of this race. And remember, one bonus point for leading the race, or is it two, Joy? It's 1 or 2 bonus points for leading a lap here as well. So that goes together with your, gives you a handy couple of bonus points. But Dave Douglas will get that one. He will register leading a lap, and Ruben Phelps, and they're working together, these two, that's for sure, and doing a great job as they start to pull away from their own field. We've got Tompkins making his way in, Barber Malone.
Yeah, they're definitely making this tandem draft work, which we haven't really seen in oval racing for quite a while, but definitely no strangers to oval racing as well. So if they can make anything work, it might be these two up front, but definitely going to have to hit the road very soon as they last pitted on like 28 to 30 mark, so they'll be really running off the smell of an oily rag, and we'll see if they can get licked up and make any gains on that initial lead up before this pit stop cycle.
Yeah, I think the top 8 are probably in trouble when it comes to strategy at this section of the race. Remember as well, as they peel off, Ruben Phelps in, Wellman in, a couple of other drivers in the lane as well. That's Tompkins. A couple of drivers up. We've seen Jason Holdsworth now leads the race, but a couple of races that just because the nature of the starting of the race being a little bit stop-start. Today is definitely not like that. We've had one caution, and it was the big one. I'll tell you, we probably had about 20, 25 cars involved in that big one. Definitely a massive one.
Yeah, it was definitely.
Yeah, sorry, Joy. Forgot my train of thought, actually, so you can keep going.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say, yeah, it was definitely a big one, and definitely took out majority of the field, or at least 50% of the field. And ever since, we've kind of been knocking a few lead lap cars off as the night's gone on. But definitely, as mentioned before, one of the biggest wrecks you'd ever see at a super speedway, and a lot of these drivers definitely got hit by that, and definitely elected to go single file for the majority of this race. But I don't expect it will stay single file all the way to the end, as they'll hit that magic number where they can make it home without a stop, and it will really be hammered down go time, and pretty much it might turn into a bit of checkers and wreckers. But that's NASCAR truck oval racing, and that's what we come here to see. And everyone shows up and hopes to win, and that's the goal at the end of the night, is to take home the jockeys and be up there and get a few points in the championship as well.
So we've already had a look at a few of the drivers here tonight, and also got a little bit of a touch on strategy. 26 laps to go, just come up on the screen, Jai. I do believe, no, it's yellow. It's a caution. It's a caution. That's why it's yellow, Pete.
Yeah, definitely going caution on the racetrack as we see all the trucks slow down, and going by those fuel numbers. Again, Skypoynt trucks, timely cautions. If they come in under this yellow, I believe they could make it home.
And it happens a lot it happens a lot where the cautions come out, and this is the reason why we're under. Number 27. Oh. We go back live. We'll leave that alone because, yeah, that was nasty.
Yeah, it was a bit slow there. I wonder if he may have done an engine from being caught up in that initial damage, but definitely unlucky there. And I've noticed a few times lately when a truck gets into a bit of contact and goes into the wall like that at a certain angle, it actually gets stuck. So I've seen it happen a couple of times recently, and that was just another unlucky occasion where a truck's been kind of grabbed and held onto by the fence there.
He was actually grabbed on his side. Yeah, here we go. So on his engine, good call, Jai. And let's have a look. We'll go back live. I'll find out. I think that was the 96 or 46 of Traher, possibly. I did see a couple of numbers there. Let's jump on board. I think it may have been Luke Traher. I'll try and grab a replay on that and go on board with the 46 because I think it just happened so quickly. He happened. It went slow, really, really slow. Let's have a look. Go back and have another look at this as we 25 laps to go under caution. And I might go rear. Oh. Engine popped and boom. That's how quick it happens. And down on the apron. Like a cat, lands on all fours, but little too late.
Yeah, definitely 10 points for sticking the landing at the end of it. And even after kind of getting grabbed by the wall, as mentioned, the wall was lucky enough to, or nice enough, I should say, to kind of release him. But hopefully that he can get a few of that damage repaired. But being an engine, it might be sitting there for a pretty long time. But hopefully there's enough time for him to get back out and still had a few more laps and maybe pick up a few late positions. But yeah, bad luck for the 27 after solid pace showing tonight.
Second caution of the night as I just I pressed the wrong button, so we'll put it up there twice. But yeah, Malone, Campbell, Skurlock, Traher, Mackenzie, Witcher, Holdsworth. How many drivers do you reckon this second caution called out, mate? Because there was a long stretch of green running on that.
Yeah, I think it's got out a few, but at the same time down with that time of caution, it's strategy's kind of null and void. Everyone's pitted on the same lap. Everyone's got the same fuel. I believe they can all make it home. But yeah, what a call by Brett Campbell. He's up 37, leading this race here at Daytona.
Let's do it. Let's do it. The truck lights are still on, I do believe. Is it, Jai? Oh, I can't see.
I think they might be forming up.
Oh, no. Oh, I wish I noticed that earlier. I was going to bring him up into the box. I don't want to throw him under the bus too much. We done it last week when he was up in commentary. It might have been the week before, actually. But, yeah, Brett Campbell. 880 machine leading the race. Oh, that's his IR, sorry. 015 machine leading the race. Sorry, Brett. Tyler Luke, pop motor. That's me done, guys. Feel horrible. Jump into the podium chat, mate. We'll get a chat, Luke. We'll try and get a chat with him. Jai, how that went down. But, well, brought out the second caution after a long green running. And the guy behind him still couldn't find out exactly who that was. It may have been Reese May, but I'm not too sure. But Campbell, Skurlock, Traher, Mackenzie, Witcher, Holdsworth, Schulz, Phelps, and Douglas. Geico restart zone is in there, 015. He didn't let any time waste. Brett Campbell, good restart. Skurlock right up behind him. He went with him. Traher, Mackenzie, Witcher, Holdsworth. And they got to start again. 24 laps to go. Skypoynt NASCAR Truck Series here at Daytona.
Yeah, definitely a good jump by Brett here in Skurlock and kind of making Skillock have no other option than drop down behind him onto the low line to double off Trahair. But yeah, awesome restart by Brett, and he'll be loving this lead in the pack, and Skillock just jumped to the outside of him, so go into 10-3.
Yeah, Skurlock's back in the lead. He'll get a 1 point if he already hasn't got it. Brett Campbell's down the bottom. Highline looks like it's working as Brett Campbell's got one of the Southern Stars cars in front of him. They all drop down. Ooh, I tell you, that Highline was working, wasn't it? Skurlock drops down. And loyalty, there's no loyalty in NASCAR, Jai, is there? There's no loyalty. You don't wait for the whole team to get clear. You're clear, you pull down. And
yeah, it's definitely right.
Yeah, you're right, Jai. As these guys get really close and a little bit squirrely. What were you just about to say? As I almost interrupted you.
No, you're definitely spot on. There's no real loyalty if you're helping the guy like work around the outside, for an example, and as soon as they're clear, they drop down and kind of leave you up to dry a bit, unless they're a direct teammate. That's the only time they might wait till you're clear as well before they drop down. But yeah, definitely Skurlock dropping down and covering that low line, and Trahair going with him as we see another run to the outside by Kai Turner and Jason Aldrin. So they're pushing up on this outside line as we're going to go side by side again down the back straight.
Here we go as we get our vocal cords warmed up. 21 laps to go. Highline starting to come in. Skurlock down the bottom. And we've got a lot of guys, a long line of Southern Stars or Skypoint cars up the high. They've been in there thereabouts all night. Skurlock, the truck, you can't miss the 350. Not too sure, is that a colourful brick or a jelly bean machine, Skurlock? Nonetheless, you cannot miss that machine. It's always out in front. Kai Turner, the young fella. Mark, his uncle, I do believe, would be pretty happy with that. Kai Turner will take the lead of the race briefly. And this battle, you can't take the eyes off it at the minute. Highline working well. Southern Stars are pushing the Highline from around about 5th position.
D-Mac, Aiden Schultz, and even Kobe Jordan still working that high line as Tom's just a couple of cars back, just trapped on that low line at the moment, so he'll be looking to get up high and work with those boys as well and try and push their way to the front. As you see, Kai Turner just edge out going into turn 3, but Skillock coming back on the bottom side, coming from 3 and 4.
2 lines astern, and this is it. Elbows are out. They're out as far as they can go. They're like, piss off, mate. This is my race. I'm going to win it. Any one of these drivers can win it. As you alluded to probably about 3 laps ago, every one of these guys on the lead lap can get home. These guys are going to be fighting like it, and have a look at it. For the first time tonight, we've got 2 lines working in unison. We've got 2 lines that are working. We've got 2 lines that want to win this race. 19 laps to go here. The high line's working well. Teammates working aplenty. 0.18 of Kai Turner pulls down. Nitro of Holdsworth goes down with him. And now Skypoint. Here we go. 0.2, the 1 and the 0.80 now working together on the high line. The bottom line is working together. The high line are teammates. Who has the better sort of touch to this, mate? People that know each other and run around each other every day running the high line, or people down the bottom, albeit they've run around each other a lot, but they're not teammates. Let's see how this pans out. 18 laps to go.
Yeah, with Kai Turner and Jason Holdsworth dropping down to that low line in front of Skurlock, then it actually released that top line to really push their way forward as well. So it's might be unison and too wide at the moment, but they're still being well behaved, as I haven't seen anyone try the cheeky side draft yet. So they've still got that up their sleeve. A few of these guys that race ovals week in, week out, and it's definitely something in their arsenal to try and pull that truck beside them back a bit and edge themselves forward at the same time.
Yeah, and they're looking good, aren't they? They get a little bit squirrely. That's how hard it is. They can't see anything. We'll jump on a lap just briefly with one of these boys as we watch these leaders really tip it up the notch. 17 laps to go. We got Luke Kenny in the broadcast booth here, mate. Whoa, engine exploration, you wouldn't like that, and I suppose you feel bad for the guy behind you. But how was your race leading up to that, mate? Good good qualifying position as well.
Yeah, no, it was pretty hectic, dude. Yeah, sort of qualified that mid-pack, and then, yeah, on the start, everyone sort of bottlenecked, and I seen a gap and just went for it. So, yeah, it didn't really pay off. As soon as I got to first, it sort of...
Oh no! Oh no! Sorry! There's another big one. Two Southern Stars into each other. The 0-1 and the 0-2. Jai, we'll get back to that in a second, Luke. But, oh no. What went wrong there, Jai?
Oh, it was definitely a bit of friendly fire. It's a shame to say for Southern Stars, but just a push gone wrong, I believe. But just towards that end of the wreck, I did notice in avoidance a lot of trucks hitting the Exeter pit road as well, which incurs a penalty from iRacing. So there's going to be a lot of unlucky and even some double unlucky drivers in that one.
Let's go back. Let's slow it down. Let's get high in the air and have a look at this. We're back under caution again. Only the third caution of the night. We've got the Southern Stars up the front, bump drafting each other. We got Kai Turner down the bottom, Nitro of Holdsworth, and I think the 0-2 just gets maybe a bump that goes wrong, maybe not so square, and I think Kobe Jordan's in that as well. So teammates involved in that one, Jai. It's a part of racing. That's what's happened. You do not do that intentional. And whoa, no, that was it's not the way we wanted to see it go down. But the elbows come out even further. With 16 laps to go. Luke, we still got you in here, mate. What'd you make of that? That was pretty hard to watch for some of the drivers, I bet.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. It was, yeah, you'd be surprised, especially on board, how much vision you've got taken up by the truck in front. Like, you can't see anything. That just looked like a bit of friendly fire gone wrong, I think, which is very unfortunate for those leading guys. But, yeah, so...
Even though you're just pretty new to iRacing and the NASCAR trucks and all that kind of good stuff there, Luke, how hard is it for all the people out there that say, oh, it's NASCAR, it's easy, you just turn left? For all those people that say that, how wrong are they?
You can't really explain it until you actually give it a crack yourself, dude. Like, every bump through curves in the corners, like, you feel like you're not just holding left hand down on the steering wheel, like it's jolting, it's carrying on, it's skipping, especially on the sort of tighter tracks like the half miles and whatnot. You've got to let off the brake, you've got to throttle control, like, it's insane. A lot of aerodynamic stuff that iRacing's put into the game's just next level. Like, it's as close to the real thing as you can get.
And let's go back, have a look, because we got a feel for this bloke. The 080, Kobe Jordan's been up the front the whole time. He's in VR. So when we go back, have a look at a replay. Let's have a look at that, because I reckon I would have made a mess on the floor. But let's go back, have a look at Kobe Jordan on his onboard footage of what went wrong here. And let's have a look. Full speed. Oh, now... that wasn't meant to happen. That was a little bit of a tripping moment then and there. Let's go back, have another look. And hopefully the replay transition wants to work. And it doesn't look like it's going to. It doesn't look like it's going to. Let's see. Oh. Let's go back live. What I'm going to do, though... timing's a little bit laggy here tonight. Probably the amount of the cars we got on track as we go back live once I pressed it 10 years ago. Let's get rid of the overlays for a second. I think the truck lights are out, so I've got to be quick with this. Let's go back and have a look at onboard footage of Kobe once more. I can get it without the delayed thing. Let's right on forward. Kobe's in VR. Sarah, oh, I feel for you cleaning up that mess that he's left in the lounge. But on a more serious note, that's unfortunate for all them three boys, Jai, because they were running up the front and running up the front quite comprehensively.
Yeah, it's definitely a shame for Southern Star boys there, just a bit of friendly fire, and also for Kobe, who's working very well with them and really helping them out and getting all three of those trucks up the front. So definitely not what you want to see, and not what those boys wanted their night to go as well. And it just looked like they got a little bit off center on that push, and just got a little bit more of a push to the left rear than the center. And as we see, that's all it really takes, and around she went. So definitely back into a few more drivers in damage control as we look for the restart, and will be 13 laps to go on the green flag this time by.
13 laps to go. Michael Skurlock, what a good restart. Dave Douglas didn't waste no time. He dropped low. Ruben Phelps dropped low as well. Aiden Schultz, Adam Malone, a couple of Southern Stars boys up the front. They dropped low as well. There's a high car out in front. He's going to be moving. Look at that guy up the back. He's going to be moving back at a great notch like these guys are moving forward. 1-0, Dave Douglas, Ruben Phelps, Aiden Schultz, all them boys, they're all in the hunt. 13 laps to go. Any of these guys on the lead lap are at a chance. 3 cautions here tonight. Michael Skurlock, Dave Douglas, they've been so instrumental in this series. So with their results and the way that they play the game, yes, I did say that G word, and they're good at it as well. We got 3, 6, 9 cars out the front of that restart. Luke, how hard is it to get these restarts right?
Really got to sort of pay attention to what you're doing more than anything, as well as the cars around you, because you miss that green and you're going to get swamped, especially if you're stuck up on the outside like that car was there before. I think he's dropped probably nearly half a dozen spots. So yeah, the quicker you can duck down and get in behind another car, you're laughing then. So.
And just before we warm our larynxes up just to that limit where we're yelling and screaming at each other, let's get an onboard moment. Let's jump on board with Adam Malone, the 3, up 20 positions. Southern Stars eSports. He's in the heat of the battle, currently sitting in 5th. Let's get an onboard lap of what it's like in one of these NASCAR trucks. Lap traffic coming up. 11 laps to go. Let's crank it. Let's enjoy it. Ten laps to go. They start to get wound down. 299 kilometers an hour. Adam Malone was getting. He just topped out at 300 just as I got rid of that graphic. Michael Skurlock, Dave Douglas, Ruben Phelps, and Aiden Schultz, Adam Malone. That's your top 5. And what an introduction as well. Phelps 06, currently sitting 3rd in this race so far. First race of the championship, and we're exactly halfway through the championship. Probably a little bit too late to get a good run and to winning this championship. A couple of guys that aren't a little bit too late, Skurlock and Douglas. They're leading this one around away, and a couple of Southern Stars boys behind them. 9 laps to go here. Kobe in comments, well, I lasted 64 laps, more than I expected to. Kobe, I'm going to drag you in right now as we call this the green. We're going to have a bit of a crowded comms box. I just noticed Kobe was in there. Kobe, mate, we got 8 laps to go. We'll try and get as much in as we can. I think everyone wants to know, did you vomit?
No, I'm just playing. Been spun plenty of times.
Oh, wow, mate. That was, how good was it up until that moment, this race? Like, talk about it. We've had, 3 or 4 cautions. These guys up the front are doing a momentous job. You guys are doing it as well. To see 3 team cars to get into each other like that wasn't great, but it happens. What was the racing like up until that point?
It was pretty good. Everyone was behaving themselves. I mean, it was just a freak thing. Tom got a little bit off center, and just right when Aiden gave him a push, and around he went.
Well, that is thing. We got Luke Kenny up there. We got him up in the chat as well. How do you feel when Luke Kenny had that run off the first couple of laps as we watched these guys just having a good battle? But how do you feel when Luke Kenny come up the inside and went 3 wide like in the first couple of laps? What do you think of that? Keep it PG.
I thought, oh God, here we go.
Yeah, no, he done a good job. Luke's out too. He's blown an engine, which is unfortunate. But 7 laps to go. Kobe, I'm going to throw you under the bus. If you could pick someone to win this, who would it be?
Well, it's going to be between the 2000 Southern Stars, Skirley, and whoever that other car is with him. Is it Ruben?
Yeah,
obviously Ruben and Skirley are going to work together, so it's going to be up. I think the Southern Stars will get it because they race together every day. They know how to work together, so I think they're going to have that extra edge to that.
How much damage do you think the number 1 machine of Aiden Schulz has after that little bit of contact? I don't think that much, but if he does, do you think it'll hamper his ride home?
I didn't check the replay quickly before I exited out. It looked like he didn't get too much. Tom seemed to roll off his front more than anything, so I think he'll be okay.
Time will tell. It looks like he's keeping up. He's in the draft. He's got Adam Malone behind him for company there as well. But our eyes are on Skurlock, Douglas and Phelps. What can they do? The strategies have been on point all night, albeit we've had cautions. I think we've had the cautions from round 1 to round 8 now, right that are played into the driver's hands. So that's fortunate for the drivers, but unfortunate for everyone else that actually wants to watch these guys do green pit stops. I want to see a green the checker. We've still got 8 rounds to go in the championship. I'm sure we are. We've still got 5 laps to go, and it just feels now, I think, Jai, doesn't it? It just feels it's the calm before the storm. This is going to pick up to another notch, maybe next lap or the lap after.
Yeah, it's definitely still running single file and still behaving himself as we just saw Aiden just putting his nose out. So you might be seeing what kind of run he can get. But yeah, definitely the last few rounds we've had that late time of caution that's kind of mixed up the strategies and really affected the drivers and put them all on the same strategy. So the racing's really come down to just kind of outright pace and making the advantages and taking those runs when you get them and really pushing your weight forward that way. So definitely takes the strategy out, but definitely creates some good racing and some close racing all the way to the finish.
We're going to see some close racing to the finish. Right now, the standings as they are, they will change. Skurlock, Douglas, Phelps, Schulz, Malone, Kosh, Campbell. Good drive for Brett Campbell, currently sitting in 7th. Luke Traher, Andy Barber, Nigel Patton's at 10. But we're riding on board with this 3, 6, 7, 8. I think the top 8. Who's going to take it out? Who's going to win round number 8? Remember, Tom was leading the Daytona leg of the Royal Triple Crown. Tom is unfortunately way back in the field, so I think he's out of this race. So, well, he might have won the first round here at Daytona. This time, well, that's the nature of oval racing. That's the nature of super speedway. You go from a high, you go to the ultimate low. Right now, Skurlock, Douglas and Phelps looks to be like they're taken away from this field right now.
Yeah, they're just opening their gap a bit, but I've just noticed Aiden really dropping back off the back of Ruben at the moment, and the drive package is very strong here. So he might be just dropping back and getting Adam on his rear bar, and then it's going to close up as we start to see here, and really try and get the run on the outside. So look for him to really use this run and then try and take it all the way to the front past the top.
Let's have a look. 2 laps to go. Adam Malone's catching up, as you just alluded to. Up 45 positions for Michael Skurlock. Up 43 positions for Dave Douglas. A great race for them, all in all. Can they get the W? Well, 2 laps. We're going to find out. You're not going to miss this rainbow, what did I call it? Jelly bean car, I think. I'm not too sure if that's the wording he would have liked for it. Final lap. Barney waves the white flag. Elbows are out. Top 4 are there. Ruben's there. Douglas is there. Skurlock's there. Schulz is there as well. Last lap here at Daytona. We're going to go to Daytona one more time. This series, these guys are going to wait until the last possible moment. Ruben Phelps wants to put his nose out there. Aiden Schulz gone for the run. We're going to see 3 wide. No. Michael Skurlock, I think, what are we, 60% through the lap. Here we go, high line. Ruben Phelps is going to be left out to high and dry. Aiden Schulz is going to go down the inside in number 1. Skurlock gets a little bit loose. Dave Douglas is pushing along. Aiden Schulz, Ruben Phelps into each other a little bit. That's the checkered flag. Aiden Schulz get Phelps. Skurlock a little bit squirrely. Skurlock wins. Douglas, Schulz, Phelps. Couple of battles later on. Good finish. Very good finish that was. Wanted as we go through a couple of later finishes. This is their second battle finishing. But how about that finish? They left their run a little bit too late. Those guys vying for a late position, Jai.
Yeah, it really hurt for Aiden. Just lost Adam off the back of him and couldn't really use him to the advantage there. So it was kind of everyone for himself. But yeah, definitely an exciting run and a few big hits after the finish line there as well.
It was good fun to watch. And Aiden Schulz, I think, went up to the high line. Ruben went up, he followed him, and then he went, nah, I'm not doing that. He dropped back down, he followed the guys down. He got on the podium as well, so we'll talk to him. That move, I think, secured in the podium. Skurlock got a little bit loose over the line as well, so Dave was really pushing him and pushing him hard, and that's what you got to do. But Kobe, mate, I tell you, you've raced most of these rounds before we start to wrap this up and get into interviews and that sort of stuff. That was a good finish as we watched some burnouts from Dave Douglas, who come home in second.
That was a brilliant finish. It was a bit messy, but that's Speedways.
That's Speedway's Daytona. Dave Douglas ripped some skids for him and Skurlock. Skurlock's left the server. Hopefully he can get into the podium chat. But Luke, mate, it was unfortunate that you ended the way, or your race ended the way it did. Is there anything else that you'd do different, or is it just part of racing is to your demise sort of thing?
Nah, for me, it's just a massive learning curve, dude. Look, probably my start was probably a bit ambitious. There'll probably be mixed views on it, but yeah, like obviously I took out quite a few people. I ended up getting bloody adrenaline rush and foot started juddering and hand started shaking and I couldn't hold the bloody car steady. So yeah, I think it's just a learning curve. Take me time and yeah, try not to ruin anyone's day at the end of it. So
it is a game. We do race it on most occasions for enjoyment. We get a lot of enjoyment out of it. You're very new to iRacing, mate. So to all our guys, to all our mates that are still on Forza, and I know you that you sort of were amazed at what me and Chop and all the other lads were saying that come from Forza to hear that how good it was. It is that good, isn't it? We're not speaking shit.
No, mate. It's yeah. I thought it was just, you know, a bit of a brag sort of thing, but yeah, once you're actually on it and race on it, it's just next level. Like nothing compares to it, and it's why it's the best simulator that we've got. So yeah, I reckon if anyone can get into it. Like it's nuts. No regrets at all.
Good to see them guys come off other platforms because let's face it, I could get done for discriminatory here, or defamation, but let's face it, Forza 8's never happening. So jump on iRacing and have fun. Super speedways can be fun, can be a lot of different funs too, can't it, Jai? Because, you know, it's fun racing nose to tail. Those couple of big ones we've seen tonight, Daytona played its part, the big ones we've seen, and for the viewers, carnage is why we watch racing, isn't it?
Yeah, it was definitely a couple of big ones tonight, and just want to say, yeah, Luke, doing the number 27 plate proud, and if you keep doing that and keep showing your pace like you have been so far this season, you're going to be up there and someone to really contend with these lead packs before you know it.
Cheers, mate. Appreciate it.
It's going to be good. And Kobe, any shout outs to your lovely partner that's watching along at home?
Yeah, hey Sarah, love you.
Throw him under the bus, Sarah. I did it for him. Don't worry, he'll be sitting there crew chiefing for you next weekend when we go to this legendary track for Lady Palooza. Still not too late to enter as well. So any of you blokes got partners, cousins, sisters, mothers, wives, the better part of our lives. If they're interested in having a spin around Daytona, it's going to be all the fun. All fun afternoon. It's going to be broadcast. It's going to be a great day. Hit myself up at LRE Sports or jump onto the Skypoynt.com website and register your interest because it's going to be a great day. I think we've got about 16, 17 trucks lined up, and Sarah's one of them. Sebi's sister's one of them. I think we've got Connor's mum. We've got a couple of partners in there as well. It's going to be a great day. That's next Sunday. But right now, Skypoynt NASCAR Truck Series, what a race it was. Skurlock, Douglas, Schulz, they're waiting in the podium room. Jai, let's go wrap it up with them boys because that was a good finish.
Yeah, it was a great finish, and yeah, let's see what these guys have to say, and congratulate them on an awesome finish here at Daytona.
Hey boys, how yous going? What a race that was. We had a big one, I tell you, probably the biggest one that I've seen. Quite earlier on lap 4, I was like, oh no, got a little bit excited. A little bit too excited, I thought. It was a big one earlier on, but the race progressed and we only had a few caution periods and probably could have been avoided, but super speedway action, 300 kilometers an hour, and these awesome machines, the winners, well, Michael Skurlock, Dave Douglas, and Aidan Schulz. We got in the commentary now. We'll start with you, Aidan. That was hairy, mate. You must feel bad for your team because you were running really really close together, and well that's part of it. But P3, mate, great drive. Great drive rather. P2 last night. P3 tonight. Was it P1 next week?
Let's not put the cart too far in front of the horse, mate. But yeah, unfortunate for Darren there. That's pack racing, unintentional, but is what it is. We got one of the cars in the top 3. Ads had a good result as well. So super speedway racing, it's flicking the coin up in the air and seeing where it falls, mate. And that's what we saw tonight.
Well, good little battles at the end, and talk us through that little battle that you had with Ruben and the top 4 actually, or top 5 I think it was, and was a little bit of sort of gamesmanship where like on the last lap, well, white flags are out. Ruben went up, you followed him up, and then you dropped down, and then ultimately because Ruben was left up there high, you actually got that position. Were you planning to do that, or can you plan for a last lap move?
We were planning for the last lap move or 2 to go. We were sort of weighing it up for probably the last 10 laps. We're just going, if it goes green, what are you thinking? So, but then 5th place, Adam, sort of dropped off the back. So I knew it was just a top 4 fight. So Ruben didn't actually move up first. I just poked my nose out and he saw it and went up high. And I thought, the only way I'm going to get onto the podium is I either go around the outside and try it or leave him hung out to dry. And I saw Skurly and Davo, which are masters at super speedways, and I thought, I'm going with those guys, and off we went. So that was pretty much my strategy.
What were you thinking when you seen Skurly and Douglas get a little bit loose just before you went over the line? Did you see one of those moments where you could have done the Bradbury?
Not at all, mate. We were too close to the start-finish line. Not at all. By the time I realised what had happened, we were already across the start-finish line. So it was good to see those boys and everyone get across in their places. It was good. Good
race for you tonight, Shilsey. Well, it's a race of attrition. 80 laps, do you believe it? We've already done it. It's done and dusted. It's just gone. It's a good race. I think we had about 4 cautions. A couple of them could have been avoided. Who knows? But, well, it was a great race. Daytona throws it up. Talladega next week. Jai, I'll throw it over to you, mate, and you can fire off a few.
Yeah, definitely congratulations, and definitely the better shorts when it comes to the NASCAR trucks. But yeah, just
About
coming.
time you recognise it, mate. About time.
I always pay credit where it's due. But yeah, just coming up to that last couple of laps, I noticed you dropped back from that top three, and I know the draft package is quite strong here. And like, was that always the plan to use that draft package to really get the run? And when Adam kind of dropped off, it kind of changed your plan a bit.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. I was sort of trying to drop off to about 0.3, 0.4 and just back up the people behind me. So me and Ads could get a run because the draft package is so big. But you got to pick your time. And then I saw him sort of drop off the back, and that wasn't going to happen. So I had to change on the wing and really stay up behind the cars in front. But yeah, you're exactly right, Jai. That's exactly what I was thinking. I thought at that stage in the race, it's the only time I'd have a chance to be up in contention to be in the winner's circle, but didn't work out that way. Unfortunately, Ads had a little bit of damage there, I think, which he really struggled. He was good if he was behind us to be able to keep in check with us, but as soon as you dropped off that 0.5 to 0.8, he sort of was struggling there at the end, so that's why that plan didn't go to fruition.
Talk us through strategy as well. I think a couple of guys were telling us, Porkies, before we went on air, 30 laps or 35 laps. I think we were told you can get out of fuel. I don't think it was that much. How did your strategy go with you and your team tonight? It looked like the Southern Stars / Skypoynt were on point for strategy.
For me personally, it was listening to the other guys. We're all on different fuel strats because, like, some dudes were leading the line, some weren't. So we're just trying to stay together. If you want to ask me how many laps of fuel I got out of it, I got enough out to get into the pit stop. That's about all I know. So, yeah, it was jump in, take no tyres, get out as quick as you can. I nuffed two of my pit stops, so I got no idea how I still stayed with the pack. But, yeah, don't really know the laps. I hate super speedways, Pete. So, not hate them, it's very hard to get a result. So, and yeah, so I just try and keep it straight and keep it not crashed and be there at the end. So it worked out today, which is the first in probably 500 super speedway starts. So we'll take it.
Look out next Monday, mate, when we go on track. Mate, I'll be there, and I'll be fighting you when we take to the track for the SRW NASCAR trucks. I'll be behind the wheel, so you can catch that there. But it was pretty fearsome up the front. You pretty much stole it, the top 10, top 12. Pretty much stole the show, and quite rightly so. For all the guys out there that just say, and I've probably asked this to everyone I've had in commentary so far tonight, Aiden, for all those guys that say, NASCAR or Oval or this stuff that we're watching now, which is great racing, they say, oh, it's easy, just turn left. Just in a couple of words, explain to them just how they're wrong.
Mate, well, it's funny you actually bring that up. From 20 years of real world racing on road, and then I come into iRacing on road, but I've seen myself navigate across to ovals. I think Skirley put it pretty good in a previous broadcast. It's all about damage limitation and being able to keep the car there ready for the end, depending. But words. Absolutely unbelievable. You never know. You never know what's going to happen. You never know where you're going to end up. It's a lot harder than what you think. It might only be turning left, but there's a lot of strategy, a lot of teamwork, and everything. So, yeah, mate. I don't know if I did that justice, but yeah, absolutely unbelievable racing, and it's a flip of the coin.
It's not easy. Try it is what I'd like to say. But Aiden Shields, number one, put it in third position, bottom step of the podium, up 14 positions from where you qualified. Great race tonight, mate. We move to Talladega next week for another leg of the Royal Triple Crown here at Skypoynt Truck NASCAR Series. Any last words and any shout out to your sponsors that get you here week in, week out?
Yeah, of course, mate. Big shout out, of course, to Skypoynt Oval Leagues for putting it on. Without those guys, we wouldn't be going racing. So first and foremost, a big shout out to those guys, of course. You and everyone at LR Esports, Jai, for putting on the show so we can go back and watch it, and family and friends can watch it. Of course, all the guys at Southern Stars Esports Racing, Mish's XL Garage, Tiona Holiday Parks, Everyone involved in the team, we're a good bunch of guys, and we have fun going racing. And yeah, so look forward to Talladega next week. Hopefully we can replicate it. Not sure we can, but then we'll go back into the 1.5s and see if we can move our way up in the championship.
Well, round 8 is exactly halfway through the championship, and that's where we're here tonight. Round 9 is at Talladega. Aiden Schulz, Southern Stars Esport, congratulations on your P3 tonight.
Thanks, guys. See you next week.
Cheers, mate. Dave Douglas, mate, you're in the fight of your life all night. I don't think you had a time to breathe. Did you turn blue? Because, well, you were right there fighting with Skirley the whole night. It was a great night of racing, wasn't it?
Yeah, mate, you're right. Fight of life, because after that massive crash, as you boys mentioned at the top of the interviews, that's the biggest one I've ever seen, and I'm glad I wasn't a part of it. But then, because there were so many wrecked trucks, we're trying to get back to the green flag, and I was stuck behind a car that was broken. So I was still halfway down the back straight when they went green. So that whole race, I was about 38 seconds off the lead of the lap. So to work our asses off with Ruben, and shout out to him and Gary Wellman as well, to just stay in the fight and give ourselves a chance and stay on the lead lap. We just needed a caution. So yeah, you're right. It was a fight. I don't know if I was whatever colour you said before, but I was red because I was angry. Ask early, but we got there at the end.
Yeah, you did. You did push in. You did push forward, and you've done a brilliant job actually. And I don't know whether I'll talk to Skirl a little bit more when we get into it. I don't know whether I called him a rainbow brick car, jelly bean car, or I called him the car that you wouldn't miss. But
All of the above, mate.
yeah, all of the above. You worked together, and you were pushing, and you were pushing that hard. You almost pushed too hard at the end of it. Did you have a little bit of a brown shorts moment, because Skirley looked pretty loose because you were pushing him that hard for the finish?
Yeah, no, I did tell him. I said, because no one had made a move that whole 10 laps. So I said it's about to get intense, mate, because he doesn't like when you get on him and he gets all claustrophobic. So he gets a little bit skeely, but I don't know what the word is there, but he gets a bit scared anyway. But put the bubba to him, and man, through 3 and 4, he touched the apron, and it scared me, because I thought, man, I'm going to run him over and wreck us all here. And Aiden was flying up behind us. He gave us a good bump, and then straight in the Skirley. Somehow we kept it straight. And then, yeah, to the line, I thought, I'm not lifting because it's Daytona and you don't lift to the line, and see what happens, because I was always going to push him all the way. So I was locked onto that bumper, and I knew if I did turn him, he was going to win anyway. So I basically just pushed him all the way through to the checkers.
Yeah, well, you've done a great job. Up 43 positions to gain second. Dave, you're doing a good job. You're going to be up there thereabouts at the end of the championship if you keep this type of form going. Talladega next week, so another super speedway. Jai, I'm sure you got plenty of questions to fire off.
Yeah, I can't quite remember if it was at Talladega or Daytona, but definitely the biggest push I've ever gotten on iRacing came from Dave. So he's definitely the one to push you to a win, and he showed it very well tonight. So congratulations to you, Dave, for P2, and awesome race. And yeah, it goes to show it's not over until that checkered flag waves.
No, that's it, mate. I appreciate it. As I was thinking in the race, like when I got up behind Skirl today, you can't keep a good dog down, baby. He's back. He's back. Get out the road, boys. I'm here. The party's about to begin. I feel sorry for Tom, because he dominates the qualifying. He was having a good race out front there. I'm sure he was out front. I heard his voice a lot, asking cars to move. So I feel bad for him, but hey, you gotta stay with the big dogs, mate. This is the big tracks here.
Oh, it is Super Speedway. They call that for the reason. The big one, well, that was at lap 4, but yeah, definitely. I'm pretty sure they called the Super Speedway Kings after Tom. He's polled it. I think both Daytonas that we've been to so far. He won. Skypoynt 1-2, if you remember, way back at round number 1. So they had big sort of expectations to live up to, and well, that was unfortunate for them in that massive wreck. But well, that's racing, especially super speedway racing. NASCAR's not easy, trust me, to anyone that says it is. Well, come on, fight with these guys week in, week out, and there's another 8 rounds to go if you really want to join. Sorry, Andy, he already said it's closed, so he'll probably slap me after that. But Dave Douglas, mate, great race. You're a pivotal part of this this championship. You're going to be fighting strong right to the end. 8 rounds to go. Talladega next round, number 10. Congratulations on your P2 here tonight. Shout out to the people that make it happen.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, Tommy P is definitely the man to beat for pole. I don't even bother. As you can see, I started last, basically. So he's got that sewn up. He should have put some money up for himself to win there. But anyway, maybe next year.
Sportsnet was paying $1.15. I checked.
Yeah. So I let him take the honours there. I'll never beat him for some reason. But yeah, shout out to obviously the BMX Bandits, Skirley getting the win there. I had to do some burnouts for him because I did wreck him and the car went kaput. So I don't know if you saw that, but I went and did some burnouts on the green stuff for him. So shout out to Skypoynt, all the boys showing up. Massive field tonight, 50 cars I counted. That's craziness. So it's good to see all the support. And as I said, Tommy P and Andy and all the blokes in behind the scenes doing all the hard work. Shout out to them guys too.
Yeah, definitely shout out to the admins and definitely shout out to the people that get you there. I just moved.
Obviously, LR Esports, mate, number one in the business. Get around them.
Definitely. I wouldn't say number one, but yeah.
Oh, he's up there, mate. Don't show yourself, mate. Come on.
We have a good crack anyway, Dave. Congratulations, mate, and thanks to your sponsors. And keep coming back, mate. 50 cars. Let's keep doing it week in, week out. Congratulations again, and see you next week at Talladega.
Sounds good. Love you, boys.
We got Michael Skurlock standing by, but before we do, Brett Campbell, mate. You got to be happy with that performance. Sorry, Skirley, we're stealing your limelight a little bit. Got to get.
Mate, it's only bedtime.
It's only bedtime. Sorry, mate. Give us 2 minutes. Brett, mate, I tell you, you must be really happy with your performance. I don't get a chance to speak to you in the podium interview, so you didn't quite make the podium, but you led a lap. You got a bonus point. That's good enough for me, mate. You must be happy with your performance tonight, and you kept the car relatively clean.
Yeah, mate. I'm a bit dirty on Barney not throwing the checker on that last caution there and having to try and have a bit of a drag race there with Skirley because I knew Skirley had run me down. There's no doubt about it. But yeah, I mean, 7th place. I'm absolutely wrapped with that, considering I don't normally have much good luck in these things.
Super Speedway, mate. We had 50 cars enter, as Dave just said. So 50 cars were at a chance, I think, at winning this thing, mate. But just before we head off, what do you and get to our race winner? What do you take out of this one from Daytona to Talladega? It's not too much different, is it?
Not too much difference, mate. About the only difference that I can sort of get is the banking, and yeah, it's basically just hold it as tight as you can.
Hold it as tight as you can. Brett Campbell, good to have your time in the podium, mate. We'll the podium chat rather. We'll keep moving on, but great race tonight, mate. We'll hopefully be talking to you in a more formal podium chat.
No worries. Thanks, mate, and congrats, Skirley and Double D.
Yeah, well done, Bretto.
Had to get Brett in there for a chat. He's a good bloke, and yeah, he had a good performance here tonight. Skirley, mate, up 45 position. I'm going to say the Jelly Bean car. I'm not too sure, but first of all, before we get to your performance, what is the what's the thinking behind your livery? Is it just because come on, you can't miss me, or what I called it the Jelly Bean brick car, the jelly. Dave said it was all the above. What's the thought process behind your livery?
Arkanoid, mate. Remember Arkanoid? It's like the bat, it's the old bat and ball computer game, and then like your little bat turns into a gun and you start shooting the blocks. It was like an old computer game.
Tell them about the brain on the bonnet.
No, we can't be telling that.
Showing your age now, Skirley.
Let's just say it was the easiest picture to find on Google that looked cool, and I just put it on top of the car, right?
Yeah, let's go with that, boys and girls. If you want to find out, go Google Arkanoid. I know I'm going to be doing it after the broadcast, but
I thought you guys might be near my age, but maybe you're not.
I'm 35, so you don't seem too much older than me.
Mate. I got 5 on you.
Oh,
so.
the big 40.
Yeah.
And what's got 5 on your age is the amount of positions that you gained 45 positions up and winning this one again, Skirley. Good race, mate. 350 machine on put it on P1 again. You're liking these podium chats, mate. You've been doing them pretty regularly. Daytona, talk us through the big one.
Well, I firstly say it's my first win, so I'm happy because Dave's been winning all the other ones. So I've been like runner up, and I come third once, I think. So I think I come second like 3 or 4 times now. But yeah, either way, I get to be up in here, talk some nonsense, which is the whole point for me. So I like that bit. So no, it's good to get a win here. I really don't like. I'm a bit like Aiden. I don't like the super speedways at all. Like I'm sort of worried the whole time, and I do actually get claustrophobic. And I found out I'm definitely a power bottom, right? And I like being out front. And when you're getting pushed by Dave, though, you got to make sure you've done your preparation because he's a big pusher.
Talk us through that last few meters of the race, Skirley, because you were squirrely when you crossed the line.
Yeah. No, I was all the way going into that last lap. I'm running a bit of a different wheel setting, and like there was just no feeling in the middle. Whenever Dave would come near me, just the air goes away, and the car was just like driving a Model T Ford or something. It had no feeling at all, and I was like, oh no, this is going to be bad when he really pushes. And then I just stuffed up really and started hitting the yellow apron through 3 and 4, and that's what caused the bit of a check up there, and I got bumped, and then Dave got bumped just because it was no one's going to slow down the last lap. And then I got to the end, I got spun, but that doesn't bother me. I'm fine with that as long as I got over the line. Bit pissed. The mechanics are a bit pissed because they got to do a full motor rebuild now, right at the end of the race. But I didn't get to do me burnouts either. Other than that, though, stoked.
Well, Dave burnt the rubber for you, mate. Actually, he didn't. He didn't because he done it on the grass over the Daytona sign. So he did. He did rip some. He's a tight ass, isn't he? He wanted to save him for next round.
Yeah.
Oh, Skirley, we could talk like this all night. It's a great season. It's a great series. It's awesome. Super Speedways, $1,000, mate. It's up for grabs. I think you, Douglas, and a few of the other boys are up there and across all 3 formats. So we got Daytona. We'll visit that another time this season. Talladega next week, and we'll visit that another time after that. And also the series. You take that, that's $1,000. So that's that's nothing to be sneezed at. $1,000 you can do quite a bit with, and hopefully that.
Fuck it, $1,000 is life changing for me, mate. But I can't. With these races, you can't like expect to win. I mean, I think Dave sometimes does, but like I can't. Like I literally just sit there and go, I don't even know what's going to happen. I probably wreck first lap. I mean, that first wreck there looked like it took like a civilization out with it. There was that many cars dead on the ground. I was like, yeah, that was the whole civilization gone extinct there. I've never seen a crash that big. And obviously that helped me, because I stayed back early. I took my time. That happened, and then half the cars were gone. So it made my job a lot easier.
That's what happens with Super Speedway, and I'll apologise again. I think it was to Jai. We're just talking, just monotone nonsense, just talking the way through, and then all of a sudden Pete just erupts because half the field is just gone. But it was, lap 4, big one. We've seen only one big one-ish. Talladega, we're probably going to see another big one. That's just the nature of super speedways, but, it's good. It's great. We're going to get into the 1.5 miles again, which most people like, I think. I absolutely hate them, but I can't drive for dog shit. But anyway, it's great. Daytona scene, everything tonight, I think, and this is what the whole series has been about for the Skypoint NASCAR Truck Series. Dave Douglas, Aiden Schulz, 2nd and 3rd. Michael Skurlock on top. Took the W here tonight in your rainbow jelly bean car. That's what I'm going to call it. Mate, yeah, definitely. It's great to have you here. It's great to have interviews with you week in, week out. I'm sure it's not going to be our last. We'll catch you again at Talladega. Any last words and shout outs to the people that get you here?
Yeah, just shout out Davo for pushing me. He always said he was going to help me get across. So, and Luke was there to help me as well. I mean, the fact that they're both trying to help me, it's cool, so I appreciate that. Yeah, Skypoint, I reckon this league's good, like, even though there's so many cars out there, there was that one wreck, it's still as good as any other, like, it's clean. When it was clean, it's real clean, like, we were thinking it wasn't going to go yellow again. So it's good. It's been good all season. I like the format. I like everything about it. You guys, LR Esports, doing a great job there. I mean, you definitely been getting better and better and better all the time. So it's, you know what I mean? You know what you're doing. And, yeah, just, I can't single out everyone, but yeah, just, yeah, like I said, all the competitors to keep this thing going. Thank you.
Thanks, Gurley. Keep showing up, mate. Congratulations on another W here tonight, and hopefully you can get another Super Speedway W at Talladega next week. But how good was that round? Skurlock, Douglas, and Schulz is your podium job. We've seen everything, didn't we? The big one was early on. I didn't expect to see it on lap 4, and you didn't either.
It was definitely a lot sooner than I would first expect, and definitely, as said before, like the biggest one that I've ever seen, and probably the biggest one that a lot of people have ever seen at Daytona. So move on to Talladega next week and do it all again, Super Speedway racing, and that'll be as we hit the halfway point for the season. It's been a good show so far, and a great series, and can't wait to tap into the second half of this one as well.
First thing is I want to know where the first half of the season went. It's just blown over, hasn't it? Every week we've been live on every Tuesday night, and half the season's done. Royal Triple Crown, $1,000 up for grabs. That's still in play. Tom Pritchard won the first Daytona. Skurlock won the second one. We got Talladega. The hiccups have revisited. And the series and Talladega as well. They'll come into play, but. It's a great season. Skypoynt Trucks series. And, definitely winners. They're different winners just about every week. That's why we love about this series. The organisation, Skypoynt, obviously, Tom, the director of Skypoynt, and also a competitor in this series. Can't thank him enough for his support for the league. Andy Barber and all the guys around the Skypoynt Racing Leagues. Jai Schultz for helping me out in commentary. I would be left blubbering, I should say, if it wasn't for a little bit of a hand. So thank you. And thanks for all the kind words, too, on the podium. LR Esports is getting better and better and better, and we keep working on getting better. That's what we like to do. But it's a great week, and we're also busy. We got work tomorrow. Let's wrap this up on a Wednesday night. Skurlock, Douglas, Schulz is the podium for round 8 here at Daytona. We've got the DSL Welding Services V8 Supercars on Friday night. It's going to be a cracker. We've got all the big names, and what a great series that is as well. And if you got any partners and you got any better parts of your life in the way of your female sense, get them in on your sim. Sit them in your sim. Get them to sign up for the Lady Palooza on Sunday. That'll be live on the LR Esports Network. I think it's an afternoon race. I haven't done too much prep for it yet, but that's going to be a great day when all the blokes move off and the chicks get to sit down, and it's going to be a great day and plenty of stuff happening all throughout the week. I think tomorrow night, debut Season 2 of 8X will be live on LR Esports Network as well. But that's just about everything done. Jai, thanks again for your hand. Thanks again to Skypoynt. Thanks again to Skurlock, Douglas, Schulz, and the rest of the field. And we'll see you again next week at Talladega for another week of Super Speedway. Thanks again. Finish the week off strong. Don't work too hard. Cheers.